a little stream and possibly a little YouTube video of me fixing this Game Boy I got from Japan. I might show you guys the eBay listing here. Let me pull it up. I just don't want to pull it up and show any information. I don't know why that had audio, but alright. So here is the listing. You might not even be able to tell, but it is the Celebi Pokemon Advance or Pokemon Game Boy Advance system. I got it from Japan for you, and it was sold as broken, so we're gonna see if we can fix it. I do, as a last resort, have a regular Advance that I'll just take the motherboard from if it comes to it. Hopefully it won't. Let me figure out where to open this from. That way. This came really quick from Japan to the States in like 3 days with FedEx, so man. And they taped everything. Oh my god. Okay. Japanese peanuts for days. So here it is. And nothing else in the box. Jesus. So looks like I got the right one. They bubble wrapped it really tight. This was sold as having a, quote, dot on screen. So whatever that means, and it said it just didn't turn on. But, oh my, come on. It's cool though, man. It's like Christmas. Little product number for those guys. And we have a little thingy. Oh yeah, that's a screen issue for sure. Little printed out business card here. We'll throw that to the side. So that's what we're looking at. You can see the LCD burn for sure. The buttons otherwise feel good. Volume. Looks like it had a Game Boy Advance SP. It's just got some adhesive on it. Like the lens of one of those was like stuck on top of it or something. But otherwise the lens is in decent shape. I think that little bubble you can kind of see there, I think that's on the LCD itself. So let's go ahead and see. Minimal, little bit of corrosion here on the negative battery terminal, but let's go ahead and throw in some batteries and see if it turns on. I'm hoping it does, although with their listing saying it doesn't, kind of holding my breath. I know these batteries work. And, oh, it's already on. Okay, so you can see we're getting a little bit of, oh, there we go. Oh, and even the LCD works, man. So most likely a dirty power switch. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a flash card in there and see if it reads the game. It looks like it has. And I have to hold it. Yep, it reads games fine. Cool, man. I have to hold it up. Oh, there you go. You can see it on that. Let's just, start button works. Buttons seem to work. Everything seems to work. It just seems like it needs a new screen, and the power switch needs cleaned. So I guess I've already should have had this set up. I'm going to turn on my soldering iron, and yeah, man, you guys see that? It works. So They told in the description, it said that they couldn't get its power on at all. Come on, old girl. So that's really cool. I'm glad I was able to get that taken care of for pretty much nothing. A little bit of adhesive right here. It looks like that'll all wipe off with alcohol. The only scratches that I see, there's one right here. Well, how well you can see it. And like, aside from a little bit of minimal paint wear, which is normal, I mean, this is a very, very good condition copy of this Game Boy. So I'm really happy with it. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and swap out that screen and stuff. So let me grab my tools here. Put my other Game Boy out of the way. Grab a couple of little bits. And we're just going to take this apart. Hopefully it hasn't been taken apart before. But we'll find out shortly, I suppose. And I plan on doing an IPS mod on this for some reason. I know it's kind of a rare, limited edition, but come on, man. Hello? Is that screw even in there? Looks like it is. Alright, we'll skip it for now. But, yeah, I know it's a limited edition, but you can't even, like, see the screen. I mean, here's this one that does work. And the screen is not messed up. Oh, maybe it doesn't work. Just kidding. I put them in backwards. And like, it doesn't look like that to me. Like, I see reflections from the lens. It looks about, dude. You can see it. It never really, like, I don't know, it never really gets better. So we will be putting a new screen in this eventually. I don't have one now. I have one on the way. And I'm not going to be cutting up any of the shell that you can see anyway. So, try to get all these screws out. Have to go back and get that one on the other side that was fighting me a little bit. But I love the color of this one too. It looks really cool. And that custom lens and stuff. Try to get this one out before I swap. Oh, okay. First try, that's on. Alrighty. All the tri-wings are out. We'll get this last little screw out. It's a JIS or a Phillips head. I think technically it's JIS, but Phillips heads will get them out just the same. There we go. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Oh yeah, clean. I think spotless. It doesn't even have dust on it. A little bit corrosion on the battery terminal. Let me pop all these buttons off real quick. So, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but on the, let's see if I can point with something. On the negative battery terminal here. Oh, come on. There's a little bit of corrosion. You might be able to see it at the base of the board. It's like a little blue. Yeah, man. We'll clean that off real quick. Power switch just looks extremely dirty. So, then of course the LCD. Man, I can't tell. I don't think it's been opened, but like it looks way too clean to be, you know, never opened 20-year-old Game Boy. Do that. See if the ribbon cable just pops out. There we go. The screen is disconnected. We're gonna go ahead and unscrew the motherboard screws here. They're all Phillips heads as well. And this is the first one I've seen with 3 screws holding it in. So, whatever that means, I think it's an earlier revision. So there's the board itself. We had some membranes come with it. Even the membranes, man, they're not too dirty. They could obviously use a clean, but like, not terrible. So we'll touch on this in a minute. Let's get these buttons out of here, light pipe and all that, all the membranes and stuff. We will clean these with some rubbing alcohol. Yeah, like even the start and select membranes aren't even like yellowed. That's crazy. This is a very clean example. D-pad, like membranes sticking to its buttons, which is fine. I mean, it just shows that it's never been removed. So here's the moment of truth. We're going to find out if the lens is in fact warped. I'm just massaging the shell here, flexing it back and forth to loosen up the adhesive that holds on the screen. And as we can see, got that adhesive coming off with it, trying to make it stick down. Yes. So, come on, old girl. Your time has come. Just face the music. Let's try to get that. Oh, perfect. So you can see a lot of warping on this old LCD. So, and of course the LCD burn. It still functioned, but it's obviously, you know, well past its prime. Let me try to put this adhesive back on. I don't think my replacement screens that I'm going to use today have the proper adhesive on them. I think I removed all that. Let's see if I can just stick this back down. For the time being, like I said, I'm going to be IPS swapping this anyway, but for right now, we'll leave it like that. And dude, if I can get this adhesive to wipe off of the lens, it'll be like a perfect shell, man. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Obviously, my fingerprints are there, but dude, that's pretty good. So, let us work on the board. Got my flux. I don't know where my alcohol went. That's a problem, or it could be. There it is. It's hiding back here. And then grab some cotton swabs here real quick. That too should be plenty for now. Let me grab my screens real quick as well. Alright, you like my feet? Okay, so I have a little baggie of stock LCD screens from various consoles that I've modded. These are some Gameboy colors. I have them labeled. We'll use this one. So, there's that. Put these back. I have some SP LCDs in there as well, 001s and whatnot. Put that off to the side. I don't think I have my good rag. I do have this one. Wipe off my fingerprints on the inside and whatever kind of dust got in there. Like I said, not a huge deal, but just want to go ahead and stick it down real quick. There is no adhesive on the front of this, so get all the little dust off. There we go. So we've got a new screen, or a new used screen, and we will wipe off and clean the rest of that shortly here. But firstly, let's try to clean this connector here, the battery terminal and the power switch. So lucky lucky for me, the corrosion's on the back side here. And it just seems to be on the surface of the switch. None of it really is on the board. Yeah, like the rest of the board looks mint, so. I'll try to take a little screwdriver here. Or actually, you know what'd be better? Something I probably don't have on hand. My little tweezers, man. These things are always eluding me. Not looking good, man. Not looking good. Let's try this thinner, already bent screwdriver. See if we can scrape off this little bit. I don't think this is anywhere near the issue, but just kind of get that. There we go. Came right off. A little bit of corrosion. Like I said, I could probably replace the terminal if I had a spare. I don't think I have a spare terminal. I have another broken Advance coming. Broken. I thought it was going to be here by now. That was my intentional, like my first plan. If I couldn't get this one working, I was going to use that. But I got this Indigo one for a really good deal at my local game store. So I was able to use that. Where'd that go? I'm just gonna go ahead and clean the speaker as well real quick. Just while I'm here, while it's out. That way I don't have to do it next time. A lot of dust and very fine metal pieces here stuck to the magnet. Might add a little bit of unwanted crackling and such. Get that out of there. You want to be careful too that none of this like little metal stuff gets on the board like it just did, because that could cause some shorts and that would be a pain. Just be unlucky. Alright. That's pretty close. So I think that's really everything else. The rest of the board is pretty spotless, man. Looks pretty clean to me. So, what I need to do now is get this power switch off. I take my flux pen. And if you guys have never seen this done before, there's basically a little cover that goes over the power switch. Like this little silver piece here. And, I don't know. There's plenty of videos on the internet you can look up to find it. But essentially, all that happens is there's two little metal contacts that slide back and forth, and eventually they get dirty, and they don't make a good connection anymore, and that will keep the device from powering on consistently every time. I have compressed air around me. I do. I pardon the microphone real quick, guys. I'll try to blow it away from this. There we go. Apologies. So, probably should have a clean oh boy, how am I gonna do this here? Let's try to use my little X-Acto knife to wedge in there. Don't want anything to break off. There we go. I don't know if you can tell, but I've wedged my X-Acto knife kind of in between that silver piece. And I'm just going to use that as some leverage to pop off the old connector. There we go, just like that. Or just this little bracket piece. I'm just gonna let it cool for a sec. Come over to this side. I do the same thing, and there we go. So that is the piece that needed to come off. Hello? Maybe? Please, focus. There we go. That little piece comes off. I don't think it's oriented a certain way. I think it doesn't matter. And then there is this little guy that comes off. And yeah, that... And there's two little wiper arms. But this is probably the issue. I don't know if you can see in there. The power switch there on the end, that little brown piece. It's very dirty. It should be metal looking. And again, there's two little wipers on the end of this. You kind of see them. Not really. Come on, camera, damn you. But anyway, these don't look terrible, so I'm not going to... I'll probably wipe them off with a cotton swab for a second, but I'm not really too worried about it. What I want to do is take some rubbing alcohol and just dump it in here, just drip it in so we get that all nice and saturated. And there is a better way to do this, but I have wooden cotton swabs right now, and that's not the most ideal. Let's see if I can find one real quick. I'm just unprepared, man. Let's see if I can make this work, though. What you're supposed to do is, like, trim off the end of a cotton swab that is plastic, or at least a little fibery. See if I can get this off here. So you have the end of it like that. This should work. Because it's typically the perfect size to fit in there. So, oh yeah, there we go. You guys hear that? So, we're just cleaning these little gold contacts here. Whew, I can see on the edges. It's very bad. So I'm just going to try to make it a little slimmer with these flush cutters. Maybe just stick to one side. Trim it with an X-Acto knife. Try not to cut myself on stream, that'd be great. There we go. Hear that? And now, instead of it being like a brownish color, it's more silver. Again, I'm working on this piece right here. So, do that. Try to get it all off that I can, anyway. And man, that's pretty close. To the point where I think it, if it didn't work after this, then my issue is definitely something else. I'm just going to do the little power switch wiper arms really quickly. You want to be extremely careful with this little guy because the little metal arms can come off. Ask me how I know. I'm just going to wipe off the very ends. I'm holding the center of it where it's actually like kind of, I don't know if it's adhered or if it's like snapped into place. I'm just going to wipe those off just like that. Just in case, really just for good measure while I'm in here. Place that switch back in place there. And then we will try to reposition the bracket back on top. Just like that. Resoldered. Okay. Let's try it. I mean, that's about as close as we can get. I'm not going to worry about putting any buttons back as of right now. This is just a test to see if it'll work. Hopefully the motherboard is the same pin counts as this one here that I have. Looks the same. Something is unhappy. I think it's a speaker. There we go. Alrighty. Put the power switch back on just so it's easier on me. Okay. Throw these batteries in. Moment of truth. Ooh. First try. Cool, man. So, I didn't put the light pipe back in, but you can see the LED up here lighting up. Switches on first try. The screen obviously works. Let's make sure it reads a game. This is my flash cart. So, as you can see, it read that game first try as well. Easy flash, and I can't hit any buttons, but you can see it read the game. So, the only thing I really don't know about yet are the shoulder buttons. But if all the other buttons work, I'm assuming those do as well. I don't have a reason to believe they won't. Okay, so what should we do now? Need to clean up the rest of the system. Power switch. Let me disconnect the screen again. Pull that ribbon cable out. So, while I'm done with the board, I want to clean up the... There's like a bunch of like just dead skin and dust on the inside where the D-pad goes. So I'm going to clean that. Same thing, cotton swab. Trying to grab a new one so I'm not using dirty cotton swabs all the time. Grab into my little alcohol container that I bought at Micro Center that has come in handy so much since I bought it. I'm just gonna take my time here, just clean up everything. I'm super stoked I was able to get this working and have it be a fairly easy fix. Clean up all the little button slots here. Again, like, the description on eBay can scare people away, which is good for the people that know how to fix it, but typically they're just simple little fixes like that. Dirty power switch and a bad LCD. Somebody like me that has some spare LCDs lying around and a soldering iron with a Q-tip, you can go from that. I mean, which you can tell is bad, right? Like, it's you can't play with that. But you go from that back to this, which is a fairly mint screen. I mean, it's used, but it doesn't have any scratches because they come with all those lenses. So let's do that. Yeah, let's just assemble the whole thing, man, just so the stream isn't going on forever and the video isn't terrible. Wipe off the D-pad here. I'm glad there's no speaker issues. I hate speaker issues, man. And if that was the case, then I would have had to take apart a perfectly good working Game Boy to make this one work if it was a speaker issue. So I'm thankful it wasn't. And I don't know the importance of this little cutout. I don't know if that's just there as a means of getting the thing out, if it gets wedged in there or something. I don't know. We're just gonna ignore it for now, and if it causes a problem, then we'll fix it. This membrane is pretty dusty. This is the one that was stuck to the button that I didn't see yet. The A and B are fairly clean, but this one, not so much. I suppose I should probably answer the question if, you know, of cost. And if, you know, you should be trying to do this yourself. I did not get a good deal on this Game Boy in particular. It was pretty expensive. I don't want to say the price, but I bought this like for myself. I'm not gonna flip this one. Typically, I'll buy Game Boys like that used. I have an SP that is ending today that I fixed and sold. So I bought it on eBay for relatively cheap, and just put it right back up on eBay to sell to people that, you know, maybe necessarily don't have time to fix Game Boys, or they're not into it or whatever. They just want a working one to relive their childhood, which is fine too. So let's go ahead and throw these back. Is that how it goes? Other way. Smart one. Don't forget your light pipe. Very annoying. Take your whole thing back apart to replace that. And I guess we do have slight discoloration in these start and select membranes. Typically not a big deal. I mean, can you really tell from the front? Not really, you know. So I believe that is just about everything aside from the board. So let's go ahead and throw the board back in. Get my ribbon cable out of the way. Make sure we're good. All the buttons feel good. And let's start to finally reassemble this thing. Screw these motherboard screws back down. But yeah, paying what I paid for a broken Game Boy is definitely not recommended. I paid what I paid because it was a very, very clean example of the collector's edition Celebi Pokemon Center deal. There we go. It was not going in very well, and then it snapped finally. Kind of clipped into place. Let's go ahead. And it came with all three, so we're going to use all three. I think in the later revisions of the Game Boy, the outside screw here was not included. So it's not a huge deal. See if we can get this ribbon cable to go in correctly. Just gonna take it back out, try again. There we go. My mic pointed too high. Feels like it. I feel like it's in my face. So let me push these down. Ideally, you'd push these down at the same time, but I have really fat American fingers, so that's kind of difficult for me to do. Let's go ahead, throw the shoulder buttons back on. Make sure they're in the right place there. Little side grippy boys. Cool. Back shell. Oh wait. Power switch. There we go. Now let's get the two halves screwed back together. Swap out for the tri-wing. Probably could turn my soldering iron off. Won't be needing that anymore, hopefully. Kind of already proved that it worked, but you never know with these. I'm just going to put these, the two top ones in, and we'll test it again real quick just to be damn sure that it works. Oh. Huh. It kind of flickered on me that time. And it's still giving me, like, the red light. I mean, it's not failing to turn on. And it's not doing it again. I don't know, maybe off stream I'll go ahead and take the switch back off and grab like a proper Q-tip and clean it. That also could be an issue. Maybe the alcohol hasn't completely evaporated yet. And that might be why there at first it wouldn't cycle. But we're going to go ahead and finish putting this thing back together. Because from what we started with to what we have now is what I would consider a success. A fairly functional Game Boy. And all it took was a spare part that I had lying around from other builds that we've done. And yeah, that's practically it. I mean, this didn't take too long either. How long have we been streaming for here? 30 minutes? Not terrible. Me taking my time, going slow. All right. Cool, man. I really like the color of this a lot. I've only ever seen it in pictures. I've never seen proper, like, in-person looks at it. Screen works. I mean, from what it was to what it is now, like I said, reads games first time, first try. We'll go ahead and make sure it boots, I suppose. This is a, oops. This is a ROM of Pokemon Emerald. It's a ROM hack, I guess. You see it? Oh no, the fingerprints. Blazing Emerald. But, just make sure everything works. Looks like it does. Left, right, start, select works. And these shoulder buttons feel good. Let me turn on L to A. L works. I'm assuming everything works. I can't test the right shoulder button at this very moment, but I can't see why it wouldn't. So let's go ahead and just finish up with just wiping this thing down. Try to get all the adhesive off, and then we'll call it a day. So, grab some more Q-tips here, actually. Definitely need some Q-tips if you're going to work on Game Boys, man. I would suggest investing in a rather large container. And it looks like that was just adhesive. So, all of my wildest dreams with this thing are coming true. For now, anyway. Like that noise, man. Let's get Celebi looking all nice and pretty. Dude. I'm beyond stoked right now. Like, you always think you know what you're buying when it comes to eBay stuff, and you think you've seen it before, but you just... The fact of the matter is that you just don't know, and you can never be too sure. And it's just always best to really know what you're getting yourself into. Oops, broke that end off. But, yeah. And like I said, for the price, I kind of assumed that it was going to be something fairly simple, because there were fully functional working ones for sale that were not as expensive as this, but like I said, they weren't in as good a shape, so that's why I chose to go with this one. So let's continue, see if we can get most of this adhesive off. I want to be careful going on the actual painted housing, because you never know. I don't want to rub any paint off. Maybe the alcohol has some kind of chemical in it that this stuff won't like. Man, that's pretty nice, isn't it? It's almost mint. There's some hairline scratches that isn't... I mean, it's not gonna... not gonna affect gameplay at all, especially with an IPS screen. Cool, man. Let's see if I can get this last little bit here off. A little bit of residue here from a sticker that was on it. That's what that white mark is. So, use the alcohol to break down the adhesive. And the sticker comes right off with no paint damage underneath. Thank goodness. Look at that Pokemon Center label. Dude, it's like perfect. That's insane. Try to do a little bit of the game slot. It's not dirty, but get some dust off of it, you know. Very, very minimal scratches. I mean, it doesn't look like it was abused and then sold on eBay. It looks like it was just used. Looks like it was used, enjoyed, and then that was it. Man. Okay, cool. I think that'll be it, man. That's a pretty quick stream. What's up, Greggy? Dude, not bad at all. That thing fixed right up. Cleaned right up. Looks good. Everything works. Special edition Celebi from Japan. Only available in Japan. Minimal paint wear from 2003, whenever this thing was made, 2000. Hell yeah, now I have 2 working Gameboys as well, as opposed to having to take one apart. So yeah, see there, every once in a while it'll give me that little glitch with the power switch. I'll definitely have to take it apart and clean it again more thoroughly. But I mean, from it not wanting to power on at all, if you put some pressure on it, it comes on every time. So especially if you put upward pressure on it to kind of really get those contacts on there. So that just tells me it's, you know, just a little bit more corrosion, like I said. So, but dude, that's pretty perfect compared to this one. Man. So like I said, coming up, I'm going to be IPS modding this one. I almost hate to do it. It's such a clean example, but, you know, I bought this to keep and I overpaid for it to keep. So I'm going to use it and do whatever I want with it because I paid for it. So this one as well, we'll probably be getting the IPS treatment. The lens on this one has definitely seen better days. Let's see, it's all scratched up. But yeah, that way I'll have more spare parts like this. You know, if I ever get, oh my god, if I ever get another screen that looks like that, this bad LCD burn, and some warping in the plastic of the actual display, yeah, let me know. But pretty grateful that I was able to figure it out, and when I powered this thing on, it worked for the most part. First time, they said they couldn't get it to power on at all. I'm assuming they probably just either tried it once and figured that with the screen looking like it did, it maybe didn't work at all, period, or, you know, I don't know. But like I said, I got this. Oh man, there's some dead pixels on that too. I didn't even notice that before. All this stuff you would never really pick up on in the auction pictures. It's just, they do a pretty good job of hiding that. All I saw was really the circle, the burned LCD, and I knew it was kind of a screen issue. And then, like I said, the power switch thing, which obviously is still a problem, but I would say 9 times out of 10, this thing's turning on first try. So, and I only get that little power switch flicker every once in a while. So, yeah, man, I think that'll about do it. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Later.